Swiggity sorty, let's get that booty.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Slim Cogcast. It is I, Slim Cognito, and we've done a lot this week. First of all, let's finally talk anime. I've completely caught up with Attack on Titan Season 1 just to refresh myself because it's like literally, I told you, I watched Season 1 when the anime first came out and I was watching every episode weekly. And now we on the second we're on to the second season, and I needed to, well, really they all the way up to the final season, but I just needed to catch up. But it's a lot of details that you would miss because half of those people's names are lost on me, to be honest. When you watch so much stuff, anime, movies, TV shows, games, like you ain't gonna forget, you ain't gonna remember everybody. But yeah, I do remember the most, and now I remember that not a whole lot happened, so I'm not too far off. I remember it being gruesome. I remember he having his anime moment of being exceptionally good, even though the equipment was faulty, type of moment. And then then what's her name, Misaka Mikasa, Akuna Matata. So Akuna Matata gets up and just has her little anime moment where she's just tearing shit up, and that was cool. And then Potato Girl. So yeah, everything's coming back now. For those who haven't watched, here comes the spoilers. Season 1. So basically, the biggest thing that I wanted to remember in detail wise was about which people Titans were revealed thus far and how they were handling it. And now I remember that it was just the female Titan of that one blonde chick. See, I forgot her name. Damn. But yeah, her being able to transform into a Titan and then harden parts of her body and shit and make it harder to cut. But oh yeah, and Levi, yeah, I rediscovered my sexual attraction. No, wait, I don't know how he is. Let me shut up. But then, who knows? All right, so the fangirl in me likes Levi. Levi, I said Levi. Anyway, yeah. So we're doing good, and it's enjoyable. And now I remember the game, which was very interesting. I wanted to play it bad as fuck coming up. Like this is before I had a PS4 when the game of this anime came out, and the game looked super fucking dope. But I found out very soon that it was hella repetitive and not that fun. But it is good for like a solid, maybe 5 hours or so, 5 to 6 hours. Next. What have I been playing this week? I've been playing some Blur. All right, because of I guest star on a podcast called the Geek Down, or no, the Quarter Q, excuse me. And what we discuss different topics every week or so, and basically the topic this past week was racing games, arcade racers. So everything that is different yet unique racing game, but not super serious like Gran Turismo, but it's not Sonic All Stars or Mario Kart. So the more obscure titles that want to be arcade fun racers. And we came across Blur, and oh my god, Blur. Oh my god. It scratches the same itch of another topic that we talked about, which was Burnout. And Burnout is a damn good game as well, because there's nothing better than crashing cars and driving on the wrong side of the road and gaining more nitrous boost as you do all of these things, and you just boosting for the entire track. Like, it's insane. But yeah, good old Burnout. Oh, so Blur. I've been playing some Blur, and the craziest thing that I love the most, not only are the power-ups very good and essential and basic, it's not too far out there, but also each power-up has so much utility in how it's used. Whether you shoot it forward or backward, whether you can hold on to it until you need it. And oh, on that aspect, they allow you to hold up to 3 power-ups. We've never seen something on that level. The closest thing we've seen on that level was like Mario Kart Double Dash, where you could hold 2 items because you were driving with 2 people, and it's implied that there's only 1 item per person in the cart. But damn, it's so good. Like, here's the thing. The whole idea that you can hold 3 power-ups and you can switch between the 3 of them and use the one you want at that time, and you can just throw away the power that you don't want to use. Oh my god, bro, that shit makes me cream. Like, it's so good, you have no idea. And if you haven't played it, I understand that you can. I tried to find this game I tried. I did everything I could to find this game and purchase it. And I couldn't find it on GOG.com. Let me double check again so I won't be hypocritical. I couldn't find it on Steam. It's not on the Windows Store. It's not on anything, bro. So I'm just like, what the fuck happened to Blur? And then what makes it even worse is it was published by Disney. So it's like, how in the hell y'all not have this damn game available to purchase in 2020 or 2021? And it's ridiculous, bro. Like, I don't understand. What is Game Fabric? Let's find out real quick. But yeah, it's downright ridiculous. And because I couldn't find it, like, the only platforms that it was released on was PC, PS3, and 360, okay? But the PC version is hard to find. So it pretty much incentivized, though I do not condone or support anybody who wants to play this game now to pirate it. And that shouldn't be a thing. So there you have it, I guess. I should get a 360 and mod it. But good ass racing game. I couldn't get enough of it. Very addictive. And also we streamed some more Dundara. And that Dundara, oh my goodness. I've been having some more fun with it, but my only complaint, my only gripe, the same thing I said on the stream, I still have the same opinion, which is I've been getting upgrade after upgrade and after upgrade. And I think it's only like 4 upgrades left in the entire game. And all of these upgrades, they do respectively do as they should in a Metroidvania, and that is like opening up new pathways that you could not explore before. You know what I'm saying? Triggering dopamine for, you know, new things and a bit of a growth scale, you know, that you can feel and actually act out, which is the best thing about a Metroidvania in general. But the biggest problem that I have is that I'm not having enough boss fights. Like, when I think Metroidvania, I think of you explore a new area, trip across a new area, you explore it, and then you just go through the area, learn the new enemies, learn the new terrain, and then you get your upgrades. You come out stronger because of it, more skilled because of it, and then you prove yourself from all these things you gained in that area by fighting a boss fight to put a punctuation on that entire section before you move on and put it away. And you only come back to those areas if you want to like explore new little secrets that you missed, or, you know, etc., etc. But with Dundar, the way they do it differently is just go explore area, big NPC you can talk to, get new upgrade, and then just fucking leave. I even got to a section in like this like dark underworld type of area where these 3 dudes just popped up who like different warriors. I'm like, one dude looked like a noble, another one looked like a knight, and the other was like a space marine. He looked like a male version of Samus with glasses on. Even his arm cannon was very reminiscent of Samus from Zero Mission, the green, bright green arm cannon. I don't. This that's the most detail. It's not like I can give you the hex color, but I can tell it's like very very close in design. But heavily Samus inspired character, and what I believe is that all 3 of those characters were supposed to represent the different games that they were paying homage to, because when you play these sections, what they do, they're not even boss fights, which is what pissed me off. This is why I brought them up. They weren't boss fights, but they set themselves up to seem like one. And when you meet them all 3, you speak to them, they say complete our challenges and then we'll reward you with the right to something and go through this area and we'll give you an upgrade. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And each area that I completed, respectfully, I get to the end, they just say, good job, you did good, go back to the original place where we first talked, and then we'll finish talking. And the space guy, of course, was supposed to represent Metroid. The noble guy with the long coat, I'm pretty sure is supposed to represent Castlevania. And I'm kind of at a loss for the knight. I'm not really sure what he's supposed to represent. Maybe Hollow Knight or Shovel Knight. I'm not exactly positive. But those were the 3 characters. And honestly, they were interesting enough that I wanted to fight them, and I really hope they become boss fights. But exploring the area is starting to wane on me because I want a change of pace or a little bit of different gameplay. But luckily, I enjoy exploration in games very much so it's not too bad of a thing. So, that being said, I am enjoying myself still. I won't write it off. Like I said, it's never fair to judge a game before you finish it. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish it because it still has good gameplay. Like it or not, soundtrack's good too. I gave it a listen separately off of stream, and this is really fucking good. Very somber and relaxing. Um, every time I play the game, I kind of want to listen to my lo-fi, hard hitting heavy bass music, and it feels right. And I love the character. I want to know more about what's going on with her because I went into this one room where like I think it was part of one of the trials, and it's like you get stuck in the room after you unlock and open it, and then you're stuck in there unless you figure your way out. And it's another person in there that looks like Dundar, another black woman, but she's old and in a wheelchair. And she says, "You're stuck like me. Might as well give up." I failed even when the big bad enemy guy that we're supposed to kill was weaker. And then when I fought him and I still failed, you have no chance. You might as well give up and keep me company here. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know? So it will be interesting to see what's going on with that. I really should turn off notifications on TikTok. That's actually annoying, and I don't really think I like the app like that. But anyway, back on topic. Yeah, so I really do like it. Oh, but they one of the references that they did make that I liked a lot with the Castlevania characters trials was you literally have to go through an entire area, a maze-like area with enemies and shit, and then you have to flip the entire area upside down and then make your way back through out the entrance, and then you've completed it. So that was a nice little, homage to Symphony of the Night and the Upside Down Castle. He even said it to make it even more on the nose that if you complete this trial and then if you complete this trial right side up, then you've only half satisfied the master or something like that. You've only satisfied him halfway, something like that. So anyway, yeah, good game. What else have I been playing this week? Actually, a lot of Apex. Still as usual. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna move on. I'm sure y'all tired of me talking about Apex, but that's the perfect fucking shooter. Next, let's just jump into the news. Like fuck it. We're a ways in, and we want to keep the time down on these. So without further ado, here we go. Kicking off first thing on the docket is Cyberpunk once again in the news. And there's another class action lawsuit filed against them by the U.S. District Court of California. And they're basically just going on about how the investors were misled about the PS4 and Xbox One versions. And it's mostly the investors trying to get their money basically out of this. But we'll just have to see how things turn out. Hopefully they can come back from this because it's looking very ugly right now. There's not much else to say. Okay, it's the second lawsuit. It's even a short article itself. It's literally composed of like less than 10 sentences. So make of it what you will. Next on the docket over at GameSpot.com, Pokemon Go hack lawsuit ends with $5 million settlement. The creators of hacked Pokemon Go programs will pay out a large sum to Niantic. So basically, Niantic usually be on the receiving end of the lawsuits because they usually were sued because people were playing Pokemon Go and trespassing on their property or all in their grass trying to catch a goddamn Pokemon. The creators of the hack, what are they called? Global Plus Plus. They basically made these different things where you could play Pokemon Go way easier, like the auto walk feature and different shit like that. And oh, they got hacks on other games too, by the way. Excuse me. Pokemon Go, Ingress, and Harry Potter Wizards Unite. So yeah, and you can spoof your GPS location as well, so you could just go to where the Pokemon is. And I think I downloaded that app before, like way back, when the game first dropped, if I recall. But yeah, they're gonna settle and pay out $5 million to Niantic this time, which is not gonna really hurt them because they made millions and millions off of that hack, so they'll be all right. It'll hurt them a bit, but they'll feel it, but it won't be lasting pain. Anyway. Next on the docket, running on over because I'm pretty sure that we all want to talk about it, alright? On RelyOnHorror.com, people really want the Resident Evil Village Lady to step on them, written by October Keegan. And this tall vampire lady from Resident Evil is literally running rampant on the internet, okay? I don't even have to read this article. I'm just going to straight tell you. Most of the article is just giving you the lowdown anyway, and then showing you the tweets. And there's so much fan service. She's blowing up like 2 degrees lower on the scale of popularity to Bowsette. Like, she's blowing up ridiculously now. And I don't know. I just feel like some things do get carried out of hand, I will admit. Sometimes it can be a bit much. But in this sense, at least they're keeping it somewhat civil, okay? I know there's the smut out there, okay? I know you guys are out there with the 34, all right? We know that. But what I'm saying is they've been more tame than usual when it comes to the Bowsette thing was way less tame. This right here, they reeled it in a bit, and they're doing okay. So, cool. But Vampire Lady, everybody loves her. She's tall, she's got the booba, and everybody lost. So, yeah. I don't really find her all that hot, but you know what I'm saying? Except on the MILF tip, like I can understand that. But anyway, moving on. Next, over on VideoGameChronicle.com, article by Tom Ivan. Gabe Newell says Valve has multiple games in development and wants to do more single player. And this is real good news because basically, to summarize everything, he's not going to say anything about Half-Life or Portal. And making the VR title Half-Life Alyx has made the development team, it like breathed new life into them and it got them excited. They wanted to make more single player games again, and it's re-sparked their creativity after doing multiplayer for so long. So yeah, this is gonna hopefully be good news, and we can't wait to see what they come up with. This will be great. Hopefully it's not a VR game. Let's get back to traditional controls. That shit's a gimmick. I don't care if I sound like a boomer. I said what I said. Next on the docket, over on news.xbox.com, we already know what this is. The biggest news this whole week is, which is crazy because like 2 weeks ago it was like no news, and then suddenly all the news just jumped up. For some reason, Microsoft thought it was a good idea to double the price of Xbox Live Gold and only have $60 for 6 months, $124 a year. That's ridiculous. That is outright absurd, and it's too damn much. Why? Because they're literally charging you already to use your own internet service provider that you pay for. Okay? The reason PC Gaming Online is free is because you do not have to pay for game servers. You should not have to pay for game servers. They're paid for very simply and wholeheartedly by purchasing the game. It's more than enough. One of the things that's not recognized, gaming, especially AAA gaming, costs a lot of money, okay? But the majority of these multiplayer games are not sitting on a AAA game budget, okay? The majority of these multiplayer games are literally just running on the lowest like operation setting necessary in order to get the game done, and only a little more liberties afterward. But it's not on the level of having to, it's way easier to make one map over the course of say a few weeks and then use that map for a year or make slight changes to it over the course of several years, and then only make one character and hire one person for voice lines every few months. Like that's way less costly than any other AAA game that has to have a full cast right then and ready. All of their stuff has to be reviewed to make sure that it's correctly done. All that audio work, get all these textures done, animations, like lip syncing. Oh my god, languages, different languages and localizations. All that stuff is way easier to do on a multiplayer title, okay? So one of the biggest things about its profit, especially the reason why free-to-play works so well, is because even if people do microtransactions off of 1 million players and each one of those million people spend $5 a piece, you've made $5 million. Sans all these other things that they have to pay percentages on, like marketing, or if they are, have to pay a cut through a certain market that they're hosted through. Of course, there's that, but also they are making bank, and that's why you see so many of these publishing companies, and especially like development companies, trying to make their own platforms and their own game stores. They don't want to pay a percentage to Steam. They don't want to pay a percentage to Google. They don't want to pay a percentage to Apple. It's the main reason why the whole Apple and Epic lawsuit is going on right now, is because they're missing out on huge chunks of their cash. Like, percentages are nothing to play with. If anybody is past the level of high school education when it comes to mathematics, you should know. Really past middle school, but I'm giving leeway here. I'm being generous. But yeah, it makes no sense that they would do such a thing. So what happened was they had a big backlash Let me calm down from my rant. Huge backlash, and it made them run it back so hard that they finally allow people to play free to play games without paying for online. So now you can play your Fortnites and your Apex on your Xboxes without paying for Xbox Live, which is something that should have been de facto since day one. And you wonder why PlayStation keeps selling more copies, bro. It ain't just their exclusives and shit in their first party games. It's also, even though it's shit to pay for PlayStation Plus, they're making it worth it, bro. They're making it worth it. I had an auto draft on my PlayStation Plus, which I was pretty sure I turned that shit off, but it auto renewed and it paid the full 60, and then PlayStation Plus was $40 for a year right after that, and I was mad as fuck because my PlayStation Plus always expires like the day after Christmas. Okay, so I'm mad as fuck because I'm looking at it like, damn, I wasted $20. But because I wanted to get the refund and redo it, but I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna worry about it. Let it go. Let it go. You know? But could you believe the fact that y'all might not know me personally enough, but I am a cheapskate. You understand me? I'm cheap as shit. Because I live in the poor state in the United States, and it's hard down here, okay? Especially for a person with my gaming tastes. Alright? Now, here's the thing that trips me out about that. I'm fine with letting them take $60. Let that sink in. Alright? Because I never in a day. That's the first time in my life that I said, alright, I'll let it go and count my losses. On my money, I never do that. I never do that. But I do realize the long game that they conning you with this PlayStation Plus and the Xbox Game Pass. And the way they get you is you paying more than you should for the games eventually. But you won't own those games down the line. So you can't go back and play them. If I do not pay my PlayStation Plus, I can't play a huge chunk of the games I have in my library. But a year or two later, and these games are worth $10, worth $20. You know, maybe Xbox Live gets a lot more liberties because it's way cheaper than any game is per month. But still, I don't see a benefit in having that huge library of games when the games that I actually purchase, I don't have time to play. So the most useful to me when it comes to Xbox Game Pass, you get it for the kids, keep them happy. Don't have to look back. Let them choose what game they want out of the collection. You're good. You can't mess up on buying the wrong game for Christmas or nothing. So that's how I feel about it. What time we at now? Okay, good. Let's go ahead and finish this up. Next on the docket, by the way, they went back to the original prices for the Xbox Live. So, Destructoid.com, article by Chris Moyes. Capcom steering Resident Evil 4 remake in a new direction. New reports suggest that as yet unannounced remake of Capcom's Resident Evil 4 is currently undergoing something of a restructure, while it was previously reported that Japanese studio M2 was heading up the project. New whispers from development are claiming that Capcom is taking the wheel after alleged disagreements over the project's direction. And to run everything down, basically, M2 wanted to keep the remake like 1-to-1, the exact same, but with updated visuals and better, mechanics and controls and stuff. Like, they didn't want to change shit about it, which I actually agree with, because Resident Evil 4 is near and dear to my heart, as well as it should be for many others. And I believe that this is a good choice. Heavily believe this is a good choice. But according to Capcom, they want to change shit. But M2 decided to keep things 1-to-1 simply because of the backlash from Resident Evil 3 remake, or Resident Evil 3 make, however you want to call it. And it's hard, okay, Resident Evil 2 has some new additions in its remake that did not hurt the game at all, and it was actually pretty cool. But because of 3, I'm not really comfortable. Okay, I know 3, they didn't have much to work with on 3. The only thing that they could do with 3 to make it a new $60 title is they would have to add to it and make changes, bro. Because the original 3 was short as hell, and it wasn't even good. I'm going to say this shit right now, bro, and I'll die on this hill. Resident Evil 3 was not good. That game was ass to me. It was too short. It was boring as fuck. And the poison mechanic was trash. I didn't like it. Could have been a lot better. The remake did it a lot of justice. But at the same time, I have to acknowledge the fact that I know some people out there that love 3 and did not like what the remake did. But I'm also human, so I gotta say fuck how they feel. Because this is 4, and it's the one that I care about. And I know that they might have had a shit in the stick, but I don't want this shit in the stick. All right. This is me explaining basic human interest here. All right. Long story short, I need my Resident Evil 4 to be right, bro. Like I'm torn between. This is why I'm having trouble finding words, because I'm torn between trusting them and letting them go ahead and having their liberties with it, but then at the same time I'm torn between also, nah, just give me what it was, so I can enjoy it as it is, but with more. But anyway, let's just see what happens. Moving on, and last thing on the docket is just a link to Konami's official corporate page, showing that February 1st, 2021, it will be effectively changing some positions around, and they are like getting rid of completely their gaming divisions, which I feel is kind of crazy, because of course they do still run like gambling arcades or whatever for like pachinko and shit. But honestly, if you're gonna be like that, at least give up or rent out your IPs, bro. Let Konami give that IP to let Platinum Games make more Metal Gear Rising, bro. Let Kojima do a release of MGS5 that he wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like where he could put that extra content on. But then I take that back. Let it be what it is, cause then it'll be like a phantom pain that actually is. That's how I like to look at Metal Gear 5. So, and that phantom pain is not having the complete work. But yeah, Konami's like, fuck it. Effective February 1st. So, yeah, that's been all the news this week. That's what's been going on. I'm wondering, I'm not sure if I'll have the energy to stream today, but I do want to play some more Dundara. We will see. Just stop by, check in if you do see the stream go up, and don't forget to follow me over on Twitter at Slimcognito Mode, and check out the streams over on Twitch under the same name as this channel. If you like the podcast, go ahead and give me a like, and if you want to see some improvements or changes, go ahead and leave a comment. If not, just go ahead and subscribe, and maybe you can let me know in the future what you would like to see, and I'd be happy to oblige. And always remember the channel motto, okay? Intentions are the most important. Actions ain't nothing but loud, and words don't mean a damn thing. Take care of yourselves, and peace. Call 62-2135. You know I can provide. Call 62-2135. Wasn't you think that I could try to run a game on you? No way. What? That's it? That's the whole damn... Hold up. Oh, shit! What? Yo! Yo! That's super good! Wait a minute. What? Oh my god, that's insane.